Are you aware that it's possible for somebody to steal your house? Are you aware that it happens all the time? Despite warnings from many people within the industry, including myself, the Land Registry refused to take heed of these warnings up until the last 2-3 years when the matter got out of hand. In fact, the Land Registry has actually been forced to pay out millions in compensation as a result of people having their houses stolen from them. But how does it work? How do they do it? The victims are normally either accidental landlords, that is landlords who have for one reason or another had to move and decided to rent out their residential home, or properties that are empty. The perpetrators normally try to gain access to the house either by renting it or, in the case of a vacant property, trying to break in. They then go about trying to get fake identification in the owner's name, and they then go through a process involving a few other steps where they actually sell your property, move the money from one account to another several times, the money's gone, and you return and find strangers living in your home. Recovering your home is not always a straightforward matter. In fact, recently there was somebody in London who had an £850,000 house stolen, and it was only by the fact that the people who bought the house cooperated that she was able to recover her home. So what can you do, and what do you need to look out for? Now, the reason that accidental landlords are often at risk is because normally the address registered at the Land Registry is their residential address. So any communication with the Land Registry will be made to the address that the people who have rented or the people who have gained access to are able to retrieve it. So first of all, you need to check with the Land Registry, download your deed, and if you are not living in the property, you need to ensure that the address, the registered details on the deed are somewhere where you are able to access them, not at the actual property that is vacant or empty. If your property is not registered, then, which applies to properties sold before 1990, then you need to apply for first registration from the Land Registry using form FR1, and there's a fee payable. Secondly, following getting their fingers burnt and paying out millions in compensation, the Land Registry now offer an alert service. It's very simple and free to sign up to, meaning that if there is any activity on the deed for your property, you will immediately receive an email so that you can act quickly. Lastly, what you can do is you can actually go to a solicitor and have a restriction placed on your deed, meaning that it will not be released, no changes will be made unless they contact the solicitor who filed the restriction to verify your identity. This is not something to be taken lightly. It can happen to anyone, anywhere, and there are professional gangs who are scouring the Land Registry looking for properties that are paid off and do not have a charge on them, and then they set about trying to access details and steal these properties. So whatever the case is, even if you live in the property, it is worthwhile to subscribe to the Land Registry alert service. If you are going to be away for any length of time, ensure there is a restriction on your deed, because there is an anomaly with government departments, as any of you who've spent any time abroad will know. You can't update the V5 on a car or your driving licence to any address outside the UK. So the law prescribes massive fines for not updating your driving licence, but if you rent out or leave your only home in the UK to go abroad for a few weeks, a few months, or a year or two, you can't update your driving licence, and you don't know who may access your details and use your licence or personal details for identity theft in order to even steal your property or borrow money against your name or do any number or commit any number of crimes. So bear that in mind, but most importantly, with your property, ensure that it is protected with an alert service and a restriction with a solicitor who you can be in communication with. That's all for today, and I'll see you in the next video.